you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding. The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
Why?
Too much social dick licking and too many niggas on a mission doing their best Joe Budden rendition. Happy birthday to the GOAT, man. Oh, I had to do that shit, man. You niggas, I shouldn't even done that. That was the Dynasty cover. Niggas gonna be like, you the Illuminati. Let me get a spike in views right now. And motherfuckers is gonna be like, he in the Illuminati, bro. Hey, run this shit up so they can think I'm in the Illuminati, man. Share this shit. Oh. Greetings and what up, though, man. It was a hoe's birthday this weekend, so I had to get that. I planned for the episode to drop Friday, but who am I kidding, man? I'm not sitting here. It's not like it's a million niggas going, where is the episode, bro? Like, nigga, nobody cared that I didn't drop this shit on Friday. But, so I'm gonna drop when I want to drop, man. I don't have a schedule yet. I'm trying to figure that out, but hey, man. I am a father of 4 beautiful girls. If they watching though, no, hold on. They could be watching because I tell them don't watch this shit. So if they is watching, I hope I scared the shit out of one of y'all. Fuckers, ugly fuckers. But no, except if Carmen can see this. Carmen, my sensitive baby. I'm talking about them, baby, not you. No, man. What's going on, y'all? I ain't got a lot to say. I just wanted to drop some shit off real. That might be, I should have just ended the episode right there. That should have just been the episode. Uncle Vick Rants for the week. But, yo, it's holiday season, man. On a serious note, I just want all of y'all to maintain mentally healthy. Like, laugh, like I just did, man. Because I ain't gonna lie to you. My mental health has not been the greatest this past week. It's like I don't care too much for this holiday shit this year. I'm real Scroogey. I don't give a fuck about this shit right now. I mean, there are reasons beyond the measures of talking about it in front of a camera happening as everybody else has that. And that's what I'm saying. It's a hard time of the year for people. Some people ain't got families. Some people don't feel loved. Some people have financial issues. Some people have so many things. So just when y'all out here moving through y'all own issues, man, let's try to be courteous of one another's spaces. That's something that I struggle with, even in my house. Just trying not to exude the energy of, I mean, it's a long year, man. I mean, thank God I'm still here because a lot of people ain't even here to complain about that shit, which is why I try not to complain. And we should just be careful, be more courteous of each other's energy. We never know what another person is going through in these times. So just try to be courteous on one another when y'all out here moving around, man. But I don't have much to talk about. If I'm gonna just do my reporter thing and just shell out like everybody doing in podcast every week and shit, when they just got a bunch of news, random news to deliver that nobody probably cares about or will care about next week because we all act like we care about things that we don't give a fuck about, to be honest, just for the sake of whatever. I don't know. But Clarissa Shields, she signed a contract with some people. I don't know. I could actually check that. I'm sitting here because I don't like to give. I don't like to just give hearsay news. You know, people would just be saying shit on these podcasts and they don't be having no type of information. They just be talking, man. And I think that that's a very irresponsible thing. There it is. PFL MMA. Good Clarissa Shields. She's out of Flint. Y'all might know her from beating bitches up in that ring. Really serving shit up. But I'm sorry, I'm watching MTV Awards and shit. Rest in peace, Chad Boseman. They actually doing something, some sort of tribute with Iron Man and Don Cheadle up there. So that just kind of threw me off a little bit. But yeah, man, Clarissa Shields out of Flint, Michigan, is I don't want to say transferring. She's transforming her career from a boxer to an MMA fighter, and I believe she can do it, man. She got not even just because she's from Michigan, hometown girl, and I'm a rep for that, home state girl rather, but I just think she can do it. She got a crazy story. If y'all don't know anything about Clarissa Shields, you should look her up, man. I think if she could go through all of the mental and physical abuse she went through as a child in Flint, Michigan, and come out of that to be this champion in all of these divisions, I don't see why she can't go over there to MMA and do good, but she better be training though, because they kick your motherfucking head off, and she can get her head kicked off too, for sure. But like I said, it's a bunch of nothing about nothing right now. I just really wanted to come. I'm gonna delve deeper into the holiday depression thing, I think, this month. I'm not gonna depress motherfuckers all month though, but I just wanted to come here for a minute to talk about like this atmosphere of podcasting, celebrity podcasting, hip hop, in the news, all of these different things. I feel like the dawn of, first and foremost, I guess I'll start off there, because I get people who ask me all the time, yo, what is it? What is your show? What is it about? Essentially, it's the mind of myself. It's an extension of my mind and my morals and the things that I was taught growing up. And I think I expounded on that in the first episode a little bit, but to delve into it a little bit more, I would have to answer the question of who I am. Now, I can't do that in a short form conversation the way these episodes run, because I'm a very multifaceted person. And that tends to bother people who don't know me well. And they're like, oh, you done did everything. Nigga, you done like, I guess, because I've not done much in my eyes. I ain't been to Africa yet. So fuck have I done? But coming where I come from, in the grand scheme of where I come from, not a lot of people have experienced what I have. And growing up in a very infamous family, or I wouldn't, notorious family, as a kid, I was exposed to a lot, saw a lot of things. Okay, to blatantly put this shit, I saw a lot of street shit happening as a young person. And I wasn't raised to be no street person, but instinctively, you get some of those things if you raised by certain people. And I was raised in the cocaine crack 80s, 1982, and in East Detroit, on Chalmers and Chandler Park Drive, where I was schooled by some of the most stand-up, knowledgeable people in that environment. Not to mention, like I said, I had a very multifaceted upbringing. So I got some of the illest niggas in the streets raising me, and then I got budding career police officers and college graduates and all of this shit I got a big family. My grandmother had 22 kids, 2 boys, 20 girls, hundreds of grandkids. There's hundreds of us. And I'm in that era that's kind of in the middle of the grandkids. So I saw a lot of shit, man. And I was taught a lot. And I thank God for them, because without them, I would not be able to even talk about a lot of the shit I talk about, because I wouldn't have the experience. I was blessed to be able to get on planes on the east side, leave the east side and go across the country, or at 12, 13 years old. I was blessed to be able to do a lot of things my friends couldn't do. So when I come back home and shit, I'm always trying to share some wealth or spread. And when I say wealth, I'm not talking about money, but I mean, I never gave a fuck about that. So I was the type of person that go broke. looking out for people because I don't care about no money, man. You can take that shit with you when you die. And I'm not a person that grew up fucked up. So I'm not one of them people that ain't not used to having shit. So I say that, where was I going with that? Just in the sense of, I've had a lot of experiences in a lot of different environments, and that's why I'm able to speak on some of these things. And then you get people who they project and shit, and they want to, that motherfucker seeing everything, and I realize it comes off as like you stunting on people, and it's like, nah, that ain't it. But I'm the kind of person that I enjoy seeing other people win. So if a motherfucker done experienced more than me, or something, not even more, you could experience less than me and experience something that I haven't, and I want that. I want to hear it. I want that experience. That's what life is about, man. And that's what this show is essentially, is what conversation was. I was just telling my friends the other day that I remember being, like when I was a kid, I was able to get into the adult parties a lot because I could break dance, throw my little Adidas suit on, do some rap shit. They would call me downstairs. Hey, in the 80s, that was lit. So I would be, and adult parties, you tend to get everybody tend to go into party world. You tend to get left. You tend to get left in the ruins. So you get to walk around the adult party and kind of experience that. So I got a lot of adult experiences at a very young age. And the one thing I took away from the 80s is the 80s in general, is people were kicking it and they was exchanging perspective. And there's that, well, I feel like this, you feel like that, but we both take something away from, even if we agree and disagree, we take something away from the other one's palate. Now it's my opinion, that's your opinion, fuck you. Like that's what it is right now. And that's stupid. We've lost so that's what my show is. It's a show about rooted in who I am as a person, which is rooted in hip hop, kind of rooted in some street shit, kind of rooted in some, like I've had type of experiences where I got to leave Detroit and go live with my uncle in his mansion in Houston. Like I got to be the Fresh Prince of Houston. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't make that up. And if I don't talk about my experiences and you don't give a fuck about them, that's fine. But that doesn't mean I'm trying to make you feel bad I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad about things I have experienced. And if you feel bad about them, then fuck you. Go do something. Go get a hug or something. Like, fuck wrong with you that somebody else is winning or somebody else's prosperity makes you feel intimidated. That's weirdo shit. And I don't like to use that word often. Wacko, 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 wacko shit. That's real wacko. I like that word for some reason. Like remember when they had hit Michael Jackson with the first molestation cases and shit, and then my grandma was an Enquirer queen, bro, the National Enquirer. She kept them bitches. And they used to call him Wacko Jacko on the front of it. And I didn't like that shit, because you're not gonna talk about, Michael Jackson didn't do that shit. I don't care what you niggas say, he ain't do it. So, but I always thought Wacko was a good word to describe, like what we call weirdo people, what we call weirdo niggas now. Wacko is a good word to describe that. And since we on that subject, I might as well get into my new segment, which is Wacko of the Week. Now, before I get into this Wacko of the Week and give this award out, I first want to talk about podcasting, man. There's too many of y'all that want to be Joe Budden, man. Like, even one of my mans, when he watched the show and he complimented me, he said, hey, man, you out there sounding like Budden and them. And I understood what he meant. Just me being knowledgeable in the hip hop, and I mean, shit, I think me and Joe Budden is the same age or a year apart or something like that. So I understand. We come from similar lineage. We come from a similar experience. So I understood the comparison. But I ain't Joe Budden. I ain't Charlemagne. I ain't Mouse Jones. I ain't none of them cats. And I said those names specific because those are guys who I respect in this industry and guys who I aspire to one day get in rooms with, even on some business, on some just I enjoy soaking up knowledge from other people, man. And why, if you see somebody with who's well versed in some things, why not? But I ain't that, man. And I don't want to be like that. And that's the problem. Too many of you niggas want to be Joe Budden. A lot of you niggas didn't even know what a podcast was before Joe Budden. This may have taken a long time, but Uncle Vick was some time in the making. I've been wanting to do this for years, but I've had a few short stops. I caught a little case with some dumb shit, fucking with a dumb bitch. I caught some shit called being broke. That'll do it too. So there's just things that happen throughout life that postpone, but everything happens that postpone your plans. My auntie used to tell me that. I mean, it's a saying now that I know it's very well known, but when I first heard it, it was from my auntie on my dad's side, on some church shit. You tell God your plans and just watch God laugh, because you never know what God got planned for you. So I'm here now. But to preface this or to give this conversation a title, I guess you could say, it's hip hop dweebs versus hip hop heads, and it's a lot of that happening in this atmosphere of talking on camera, and a lot of our subject matter being hip hop, and that's why I kind of got into who I am as a person a little bit, and I'm gonna do more and more of that as we go along, because this ain't just no hip hop show. This ain't just no music show. This is a show about life. It's an extension of myself. But a lot of y'all personalities get on these cameras and y'all just say shit like y'all pick apart rappers and movies and everything. And y'all don't have a aorta of talent. Not one. Or not in that realm of things. So you don't know what it takes. Like I said, I myself may not be the nicest nigga on the planet, or I know I ain't the worst, but I've spent time in studios, recording, writing songs, trying to be clever, coming up with witty lines. I know what it takes for that process. So whether I like some shit or I don't like some shit, I try to critique it with some respect. And it's too many cats out here who, just because you a fan, super rap fan ass nigga, and it's a difference between fans and supporters. Like, Jay's the GOAT in my eye. I guess you can call me a Jay-Z fan. I've literally been to every Jay-Z show since he opened up for Puff. Only one I missed was On the Run 1. Like, I don't miss Jay-Z shows. But I'm a supporter of him. I feel like the difference between a fan and a supporter is, because I'm a Jay-Z supporter, or because Jay-Z's the GOAT in my eyes, if I was a fan, he wouldn't be able to do no wrong for me. And in most cases, he can't. But if Jay-Z drops some shit that I don't think is hot, I'm going to be like, yo, that shit wasn't it. That's the difference between a fan and a supporter. A fan can't see logic in anything when they love somebody. Fan-ass niggas. And I feel like fan-ass niggas be on these podcasts and on these things just, well, this line with this line, and then, my nigga, if you can't write that, if you can't do that, or if you gotta respect that craft the same way the people that create it respect it. And some of them don't respect it, but they're good at it to some degree if they got here and they built a fan base and all. Even the rappers I don't like, to some degree, it's like, even if I think it's trash, yo, you got here. You were able to get here and cultivate a fan base from the things you do. To some degree, that is a gift. Even if, like people like Lil Pump, for instance. I think he a bozo, and that one album wasn't even that bad for real. But, but I think there's a difference, man. Some of these niggas is real dweebs, and they do too much when they just be talking. And they talk as if, they talk as if, like Erykah Badu said, artists are sensitive about their shit. They talk as if they don't go to concerts, or they don't go to shows, or they don't. You could end up seeing one of these people, and you got to be more responsible, and you got to have an understanding of the culture you're talking in, to understand the fact that if I say this, I could see this artist at a show, and they could slap the shit out of me.
Oh,
That plain and simple.
Sharky.
Just because you a blogger or a vlogger or a podcaster or a personality don't mean it won't nobody fuck you up.
Sharky, no.
But with that being
Don't
said,
cancel Sharky.
let's get into the Wacko of the week. Now, my first inductee into weekly Wackos, I wanted to go Vlad because I have a heavy disdain for Vlad, and he did some shit a few weeks ago when King Von died that I didn't like. But Vlad is he be Vlad. So I don't have to make him the inaugural Wacko of the week because I'm sure that Vlad is going to find himself in this predicament many a time. So with that being said, let me shout out my guys in Toronto. I'm tired, man. I do this shit a lot. Like, I understand this comes from a person that, like I said, raises 4 beautiful daughters as much as I can, given the fact that I'm a dual full-time employee and shit, I just don't be having time, man. So, takes a lot. But my guys, man, the True North Views podcast out of Toronto. Salute to my guy Harris. Salute to Shola, and salute to their new member, Dill. I'm liking the guy, even though, look, Dill sounds like, I hope he sees this. He sounds like, you ever seen Drake when he hosts Saturday Night Live? He does the Toronto accent on Black Jeopardy. I was gonna try to impersonate it, but I can't do that any justice. Just go YouTube Drake, Hood Jeopardy, or is it Black Jeopardy? Drake Black Jeopardy, and then go watch an episode of my guys at True North Views podcast and listen to Dill talk. Entertaining. But Dill knows his shit. And that brings us to our weekly Wacko. I don't want to say his last name because I can't pronounce it, but my man Shola. Oh, man. Like I said, True North Views, for you guys who like pods, it's a podcast. I would say it's the sports center of hip hop from the perspective of 2 first-generation Canadians, maybe 3. I don't know if Dill is a first generation, but you know, if you guys know what first generation means, it means that they're from the other side of the country and they came to North America, because that's all Canada is North America. But I know Shola's of Nigerian descent. My man's Harris is of Jamaican descent. So they're the first Jamaican Nigerian guys to live in North America. And they talk hip hop. And that's why I call it North America, because it ain't America. And they be talking about our culture, which is hip hop culture. But hip hop culture they're black, so it's their culture too. But just run it.
They had like one album and that was it, and Wayne had to carry them after that. Come on, we all know that. They had
Shout
one
out to,
album.
Uncle Vick, Rants, my boy Uncle Back
They
Glorious.
had one album, and then Wayne carried them.
All right. Did y'all hear that shit? That's why he getting Wacko of the week. So before I even carry on into my tangent about that, let me just one more time.
They had like one album and that was it, and Wayne had to carry them after that. Come on, we all know that. They had
Shout
one
out to,
album.
Uncle Vick, Rants, my boy Uncle Back
They
Glorious.
had one album, and then Wayne carried.
Harris directly, soon as he hears the statement, he motions off and thinks me. Shout out to Uncle Van Glory. You see, like he heard that and knew I was somewhere going crazy. And this happened 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he continues to stand on it. But this is why he gets the Bozo Award for that. Like the whack, like I said, I like Shola because I feel like he's maybe the comic relief in there. Because where Harris is the more well-versed one, the more hip-hop. Dill seems to be knowledgeable in his thing, but these are 30-year-old men. And this isn't a shot to them, but when I say this is a general statement. I'm tired of hearing 30-year-old niggas talk about 90s hip-hop. You 30. You can't talk about, that means that you were born in 90 at the earliest, Means by the end of the 90s, you was 10 years old. You wasn't outside. You wasn't thinking about being outside. I mean, yeah, you might have been riding a seesaw or throwing sand at some chick in a sand boxer, but you don't. You probably wasn't even able to listen to hip hop in the 90s, talking about 90s hip hop. And essentially, when you talk about the Hot Boys, that's what you talking about. Because I'm not even gonna say guerrilla warfare. Get It How You Live came out in 96, something like that. BG and them got albums that came out in the 90s before you knew these guys. They was doing their rounds. And Guerrilla Warfare, well, that's 90, that came out, I was in 11th grade. So that's 98, 99. So you don't know, you aren't qualified to say what Cash Money Records had one good album and Wayne carried them the rest of the way. Nigga, when the Hot Boys made Tuesdays and Thursdays on Guerrilla Warfare album, you can't even relate because you from Toronto. You don't know anything about the Tuesdays and Thursdays sweeps and you can't even relate. So how do you have the qualifications to speak on something you can't relate to? Cash Money Records does not get to Wayne's run without what the Hot Boys did. Everybody knows Wayne was a third option. It was BG, Juvie, in whichever order you liked them, Wayne, then Turk. Wayne didn't become Wayne until the Squad series and the Carter albums, and Wayne got 3 albums. Block is Hot, Lights Out, 500 Degrees, who I personally love those albums, but a lot of people in that era didn't, but you wouldn't know that because you wasn't outside. And this is what I'm saying and why you get the Wacko of the Week. Because you, as a media personality talking about hip-hop, American hip-hop, when you're not from the soil, you have a responsibility to know that shit and know what you're talking about. Now, you could have an opinion about what you want to have an opinion about all day, and if you feel like that was the only hot shit, that was the only hot shit, but I know he's not well-versed enough to say that. You probably didn't even hear G Code. You probably didn't even hear Cash Money, Chopper City in the Ghetto. You probably didn't even hear, and if you did, they probably didn't resonate, the albums didn't resonate with you any because you were a child. You don't even understand what they were talking about. That's what I mean. When you go on a platform and you say some shit like, but people like the hot take. And that's probably got y'all a lot of views and all of that shit. So I respect it, but that shit trash. And that's why you get the Wacko of the Week, buddy. Congratulations to you. I still like you, man. Like people can be, and he got big hip hop dweeb energy, but because I don't want to distinct, like rap nerd is cool for me, but rap nerd that's a way of saying, oh, you niggas love lyrics, you love to be over analytical in hip hop, but hip hop was always about rapping well and being good at it. And that wasn't no nerd shit, but I like the term nerd because nerd means smart. All you saying is that I'm efficiently informed in something. So I'm not mad at the term rap nerd. But it's a difference between rap nerds and niggas who love this culture and can size it up and break it down and all that. It's a difference between dweeb niggas and dweeb niggas just be, you know what a dweeb is an uncool version of a nerd. And sometimes, just be a lot of dweeb shit happening on these podcasts. And that is not directed at my guys, the True North viewers, because them really is my guys under the BKC umbrella. And before I get out of here, I'm gonna talk about BKC because people see me tag that page a lot, but Blank Kanvas Creatives is a community. I don't even want to call it a Facebook group because it's not a Facebook group. It's a Facebook group. It's an Instagram page. It's a Clubhouse group. It's a Twitter. Like we're everywhere. We're just a community. And any one of them platforms, you can go find us at BKC Network on all of it. Or you can look at the group on Facebook. That's Blank Kanvas, Canvas with a K, where it's really about, and you don't have to be a creative to be there. It's just about people with good energy who enjoy creativity. That's it. And it's a place where we can network. And this podcast get with this podcast, and that podcast get with that one. And we got a lot under our umbrella. We have my girl Pinky with What a Crime to Be Alive. We just got with my girl Whitney and Whitney just started, and Whitney is from London, B. Like, from London. She is from London, England, brother. And a very beautiful woman, I might add. I should shout out to see if y'all can see young Wit right there. I don't know if y'all can see. It's a glow. She has a glow vibe, but she has the Seasoned Woman podcast. Tell me you don't want to come to BKC and see the Seasoned Woman, bruh. Just and we have quite a few people. We got Quality Minutes over there. We got my boy Rashawn Franklin podcast. We got Good in the Hood with my guy Juice. My man Chris Bowles does production. There's a lot of things happening there. It's a Voltron effect happening around us, man. So y'all can get in and add on to that, because at the end of the day, that was my real point, because there's always a takeaway from this. And what takeaway from this episode would be is we are the new industry. We are the community. All of y'all run and listen to these celebrity podcasts, and that's fine. I love celebrity podcasts. But all of those guys aren't interesting without a guest. The conversation is cool for the clickbaity shit, and you want to hear celebrities get mixy with who they're friends with and just hear stories you've never heard before, and that's interesting. But a lot of them can't be entertaining by themselves, baby. It don't happen that way. And we are the industry. It's us in Clubhouse. It's us in all these rooms. It's us. We got to support each other for our platforms to grow, because we're the consumer. So Charlamagne was saying, he said that a while ago, where the new industry, basically saying that the word industry shouldn't get a bad connotation to it or a negative connotation to it, because for what it used to be, the old gatekeepers and the people who used to lock everything up and not let motherfuckers eat and all that shit. And he's saying they're the new version of that. And I'm saying they're on their way to becoming a senior elder statesman version of what their industry they were going against. They're starting to become their old industry. We're the next version of that. The people down here on the ground level, and all of us got podcasts, and all of us got clothing lines, and flat tummy tees, and body butter, and all that. Stop hating on each other and start celebrating each other. That's probably always the end messaging of this. Now, normally I do a hip hop highlight, but I don't, I guess I'll leave y'all with there's a couple albums came out, Rico Nasty, all that shit. I'll get into it. I'll have a music discussion later on, but on my way out of here, I'm gonna give it to my girl, D Hall the Queen, and take y'all out. Yeah. The Detroit shit. Go stream this shit on all platforms, B. D Hall the Queen. No breaks. Fire Project, too. She got some of all that shit. She got bops.
I'm stuck in my ways to die as a slave. I'm on this plantation now, but one day soon I run away. Young Harriet ain't waiting for no chariot. Got my own cross to bear. No one else could carry it.
It's been real, man.
One big fear. I managed to bury it. Always had one dream. Mess around and married it.
Uncle Vick out.
Life to it. I became a life student. Swear I learned so much along the way, even in night school. And say I got a nice movement. Say I got a nice flow. Even got no kids yet, but they the ones I grind for. Ain't even got no husband yet. I know he on the way though. So I prepare myself for all the lessons that I pray for. My foundation straight, bro, no room for mistakes. So extra cautious every decision that I make. No, when it comes to life, everything is high stakes, bro. Gotta keep the pace. I'm moving with no brakes. Whoa. So what's your mission? What's your motivation? Is you just talking or you living what you saying? Gotta show 'em what you made of. Show 'em what you made of. Show 'em it ain't made of. Show 'em it ain't made of. So what's your vision? Tell 'em where you going. You just boosting for the gram, or you really growing? Gotta show 'em what you made of. Show 'em what you made of. Show 'em it ain't made of. Show 'em it ain't made of. I got gifts and talents that shift the balance when I'm feeling out of sorts. Treat the booth like resorts.
I fucked your bitch. I fucked a bitch. I fucked your bitch. You fat. Why do rappers do that? Why do people do it? Why is that a thing? Like you bragging on shit. Like, so what? Somebody probably did that before you. Somebody gonna do it after you. Bitches get fucked every day, B. So what? You really want to get a nigga? Fuck his grandma. Like, it's always one out here looking for some young meat, bruh. And she'll buy you a and she'll buy you a PS5, man. Life hack. Like, if you gonna do it, man, fuck a nigga grandma or something, bro. Don't, man, really hurt a nigga feelings if you gonna brag about some shit like that. That shit lame.